Happy Valentine's Day! Welcome to another episode of Sisterhood Unscripted. We are so excited to be doing this special edition Valentine's Day video for you guys. We have loved being able to sit on this couch and have conversations, and we're so grateful to have you guys with us today.
Okay, to start the episode, I'm going to start us off with the Would You Rather game. And I'm going to ask it to them, and I'm also going to answer. Okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question is, would you rather enjoy a surprise picnic at a scenic park or a cozy dinner at home with a favorite movie?
Scenic picnic.
Dinner at home. I love quality time. Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm like, it kind of gives like extroverted or introverted, even though if you were, to go on a picnic, it's just you two still, but you're still out in the world. But I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't mind either. I love like a dinner at home and a movie, so I think that's what I would choose.
I feel like to me, setting up a picnic outside screams more effort.
But what if they made you dinner at home? Or
yeah,
I think there are really pretty views that you can go sit out and look at.
Yeah, I actually am going to change my answer. I think I'll do both too. Like, let's go out and have the cute picnic, take cute pictures, and then come home.
Have sweets at home.
Have dessert at home and like dessert and movie at home.
Imagine your significant other, like they take you outside and then you go out and there's a picnic table.
I know, the surprise element would be cute.
And a food and it's pretty and they put all the effort into it, like, come on.
Flowers. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Would you rather get a flower bouquet or gourmet chocolates? Like, these are really good chocolates. Like, me and Nosa, we get like this Swedish chocolate from Trader Joe's. I think it's Swedish, possibly. It's like really good chocolate. Like, it would just melt on your tongue. Or would you rather get flowers?
I think I'd rather get flowers. I'm just not a sweets girl. You guys know that.
Yeah.
I'm not. These two and their sweet tooth.
No.
But I also love flowers. So I don't know. Hold on, let me think about it. Would I want flowers or
I personally love flowers. I love receiving a variety of flowers and then putting them together myself.
Yeah, she's good at that.
Yeah.
So he can give me flowers and I'll put them together and make it okay.
He can give me flowers and chocolate. How about that?
I was just gonna say both.
You can't keep saying both.
No, yeah.
Okay, but I want my chocolate.
Would you rather?
No.
I think the more obvious answer is flowers because you can just go get chocolate yourself. But like,
I mean, if they're gourmet chocolate, that's kind of nice.
I don't know. Would you rather? Okay. Would you rather spend a Valentine's Day reminiscing about your favorite past moments with your loved one or dreaming up future adventures together? Oh, that's hard.
Dang.
I do not really enjoy reminiscing.
No, that's not true. Because imagine you like talk about a funny story, like remember when we did this
funny, but not sweet, cute moments.
Oh, really?
Like,
okay.
Dang.
But no, it's his favorite past moment, so it can be funny. It doesn't have to be like a lovey-dovey.
I think I would rather dream up our future life.
I would rather reminisce about the past. I think it's funny to just like get in laughing fits about things things we used to do. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both?
Last time I'm saying both.
No, let me think about it. I mean, like, if we've been together 10 years, then, like, I want to reminisce about the past. But for, like, early stages, like, let's dream about the future. That sounds so fun.
Okay, this is our last question. Would you rather spend a Valentine's Day on a cozy cabin getaway in the woods or enjoying a day of pampering at a luxurious spa?
Both!
Both of them.
Give me the spa, give me the cabin.
Have you heard that meme? That's like,
I'm surprised. I thought you were just going to say the spa.
No, I also love the idea of a cozy cabin.
Yeah. Have you heard that meme that's like both? It's like BOAF. Both of them.
Both of them.
That's hilarious. So random.
It has to do with both. Okay. I would personally rather be at a cabin. I feel like when I think of spa, I think about doing it for myself, so I would go alone. Like, you guys are both on the spa bed. What? Like, what's there to talk about? What's there to do?
While
So
your
just,
masseuse is breaking
I
your back.
know, literally. So I'd rather just be in a cozy cabin. So cute.
Yeah, cozy cabin, because then you can have like a whole day full of activities.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm so over the cold right now, so it's hard for me to think about willingly being in a cabin in the woods when it's snowing. But
I'm tired of this weather.
Just
I'm
think
tired.
of a chill
I'm tired of
Airbnb
this,
that's very
Grandpa.
cute and cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice firewood. Well, then we'd like to talk about so many wonderful things today, but basically we want to just kind of go over the theme of love, right? In terms of us Black women and how that has shown up in our life, and also in relation to our hair, learning to love our skin, and then any kind of like romantic or friendship love that we've also experienced throughout our life. And so, starting out with hair.
Let's talk about our hair.
Yes.
Speaking of hair, yeah.
I think that the world withholds love from Black women.
Mhm.
And I think that's because A, we're women, and B,
We're Black. Oh, no.
Black people we've just not been favored for so long. Like, it's just not been considered beautiful in so long. And so to get to the point where we all are and to be able to continue growing is a lot. And starting with our hair, like we were saying, I think that I'm literally about 225 next month, and I am finally getting to a place where I love my natural hair, and I'm accepting what that means as a Black woman. I love how versatile our hair is. Like, this isn't my natural hair, but I can do this because I'm a Black woman.
Mhm.
And I can wear my hair out in a fro if I want, or I can wear my hair out in cornrows. I can have
Yeah.
beads in my hair. I can straighten it. I can make it extra curly. It can be 1 inch off my head, or it can be 6 inches down. And it took a long time for me to get to this place, because obviously going to school, living in a white neighborhood and being in white spaces, all you see is straight hair. And we know that not everyone, but the favored hairstyle is blonde and straight, or even if it's curly, wavy, not 4C hair. We're talking 2A, 3A, 3C even, but 4C hair is just at the bottom of the totem pole, unfortunately.
So sad.
Yeah, for sure.
I have an experience where when I was in 6th grade, I don't know why, but I had my natural hair out. Not that it's a bad thing, but like we have a hairstylist sister, and so our hair was always done. But this time I had my natural hair, and we went swimming, and you know how that works out. You know how that works out. And this is kind of a sad story, but like we go back to the locker room, and girls are like getting dressed and fixing their hair to go back to class and all of that. And I'm over here like, what do I do with my hair? Like,
Oh no.
legit. Like, it was
Are you laughing
bad.
hard?
But like, and you see other girls like with their straightener and their blow dryer, and I was just like, no. And so this gets even worse. That's the thing. I then take a girl's straightening. Okay. Guys.
Wait, what?
I took a girl's straightener. And I sat there.
What?
And I sat there. Smoke coming out because my hair is wet. Yeah. It's not that funny. It's not that funny.
It's
Relax. Yes. Like, I kid you not.
It's not even
And
that
even
funny.
the school bully was standing there watching me.
Not the bully.
No.
How long did you think
Boy, giving you were late for class.
A couple more passes with the sizzle and the smoke. I was like, I give up. I give up. I get to go back her and disperse the crowd because there was a crowd standing there watching me, including the school bully. Listen, I did it.
Oh my lord!
You guys laugh.
Oh my gosh.
You guys laugh, but like I look back at my little self, my little 6th grade self. She was doing her best,
She
trying to
was.
fit in. We went to school where we wore uniforms. Like I didn't feel special. What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
It's not even funny,
like your
but-
6th grade self, like that is so
Yeah,
separate. The
like-
nature of the story is funny. Like we can laugh at it now.
Yeah,
because of where we are.
because it's crazy.
Whatever.
I got
Anyways,
crazy stories too.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
so ever since then, I was like, no, my hair could never be out. Like, and I was the queen of box braids. Like, they made fun of me every time I put my box braids in. Okay, I didn't know what else to do, and so I was like, I'm just gonna do this and stick to it, and then just like redo it over and over and over again. And I think I wasn't until like in my adult life, honestly, that I started to learn to love my hair. So here we are.
Period.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, we didn't make fun of her because of the box braids. It's because of the harsh side part. But I remember we all have grown up in, or we all grew up in predominantly white spaces. So we low-key all just have the same stories that are a little bit different in the details. But yeah, I mean, I remember, being in elementary school and having different styles or having beads in my hair and like being the only one of the Black girls in the class and like feeling so different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that would have really helped me is knowing that different doesn't mean bad, because I think when I was younger, that's what it did mean. But, obviously that's not the case. And then after elementary school, I actually went to a predominantly Black school, and I was wearing my hair all the time. Like, it still was, there was the texture wars for sure, but it was a little better. And then, later in my high school career, like, I was back in a predominantly white space. And it was really sad. It hurt because you could see that, people with different hair textures to you were treated better, or different skin tones, X, Y, and Z. And so I feel like that really took a hit on my self-esteem. But I think as you grow older, you grow wiser. So you just know that, like, forget them. Like, I look good. I'm beautiful. This is who I am. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because our hair was different, whether it was in braids or we had a sew in or crochet. That is different than what the other girls had,
Mm-hmm.
but we accepted it more than our 4C afros out.
Yeah, even though the white kings and queens did not. Oh my gosh, one time my box braid was in the trash. It got picked out.
Yeah.
And they were asking me, or they were asking whose it was, and they know it was me.
I have flushed a braid down the toilet at school because I was like, nobody can find this.
No, like,
What else do you do?
one time, Rob gave me a wicked cut. Like, I was like, I'm so cooked tomorrow. Crazy.
Wait, what did she do?
It was yarn hair, like yarn.
Oh, no.
And Rob, you're gonna get to count your days.
Dang. Oh
It was
gosh.
rough, and so like people would talk about it in front of me, and like people would touch your hair, like just crazy stuff that you had to let pass. And one specific kind of topic within hair that I used to struggle with too is like how masculine it makes you feel. I think as dark-skinned women, we're very not emasculated. We're very masculinized, made out to seem more masculine. And I really struggle with that too. And I think like even in this whole 4C hair movement and loving our hair, I feel like there's still things we don't talk about, like having short hair. I know that like when my hair was shrunk, because my hair is not down my back, so when it's shrunk, it is 1 inch off my head. And so I remember feeling, that shame and like feeling super masculine and not pretty and all of those things. And I really struggled with that too.
Yeah.
But I'm really grateful for the experience that I had going to a predominantly Black school, because it did make me feel a little bit better. But then I was kind of kicked in the dirt. But throughout that time, I was able to grow even in hard circumstances, to where now I love my hair, but maybe not that much because it is in a bonnet. So.
And to be honest, sometimes it starts in your home. Honestly, and this combines like the talk and conversation about hair and skin because like our mom was the queen of
Perm.
pinpointing everything. She would always notice how your hair is done, how your skin looks, and she would always make comments, right? She even for her own hair, she had really strict expectations, and like she would like always talk about how hair should look like and what is acceptable, what is beautiful. And so like I feel like that kind of was embedded in at least me in like being super self-conscious but also not wanting to be self-conscious. And also like with skin, right? Like our mom comes from we come from a culture where skin bleaching is so normal, and it's not a good thing. It's not promoting self-love or promoting love for darker skin tone at all, which is so sad. So sad because now that I love my dark brown skin, like I just can't imagine not like it just makes me so sad for anyone to not like their own skin tone. Like I'm beautiful. I'm so sorry. There's nobody in this world that can that my skin tone is like bad or ugly or anything like that. And that's me
Yeah.
now, and I'm so grateful for that. But also
Yeah.
just kind of like growing up in a home like that where comments were just made all the time, you
Yeah.
can't escape it.
Also, not just comments, just like actions too. Just like I don't know about you guys. I don't know if mom ever permed your hair, but she permed my hair,
Yes.
cooked it off my head,
Mhm.
and I'm just that. And I would love to like go back and see all the little microaggressions and like little comments that were made that like gave me these subconscious beliefs that made me feel so down about myself because you don't notice it. And with Black people, like people are always making little comments or like that affect how you feel about yourself, but you're kind of gaslit into not taking it as, really truly offensive. So,
I think a really big part of it is representation. We don't
Mm.
see dark skinned women, we don't see 4C hair, we don't see Black women with their afros out plastered everywhere. And so I think one thing that people underestimate is the effort that Black women have to put into loving their hair and their skin, because if you're a white woman, you most likely see yourself in
everywhere.
TV shows, in
Mhm.
movies, in
Yep.
media, whereas we don't get that. And so we have to teach ourselves that even though we don't see it, it's okay and it's beautiful and it's okay to be different, like you're saying.
Yes.
Um, and the other thing that makes me so sad is simply the fact that we don't know our hair. We don't understand it. The
Yeah.
products that I use on my hair now, if you would have told me that I could use those on my hair 10 years ago, I would have been like, what? Like, I didn't think my hair was worthy of moisture. I didn't think my hair was worthy of oil. I didn't think I could do anything to my hair. Even in college, literally 2-3 years ago, people would say, oh, how come you never wear your natural hair out? And I would just say, because it's too much to do. It's too much to manage. But that's not true. The real reason is because I didn't know how to. And so it just breaks my heart, because I do think that Black women don't know how to take care of their hair, but it's not their fault. It's because our hair is so different. It's not, you wake up and your hair produces its own oil and you can brush your hair and go on with your life. Like it does take effort, but you can put that effort into it, and our hair is worthy of love and it is beautiful. If you knew what it took to get it not in that state.
Yeah.
And it's not free either. I can't just go get a $2
girl, it
brush.
is
I
not
can't
free.
just wash my hair
Yeah.
and then boom.
And the things about 4C hair on the internet, we already know that the world capitalizes on women's looks, and it's like, oh, here's this product, but here's this product, and you have to do this, but if you have this, like all that nonsense. And so anything that white women kind of struggle through, like especially with hair and stuff like that, I feel like sometimes Black women take the hit even harder. And so if you look up like how do I wash my hair so it's super healthy, you're going to see 10 different things, and they're all going to be contradictory and all opposing, and it doesn't make sense. And I feel like that makes it super hard. But also when it comes to the variety in our hairstyles, like okay, we don't wear natural hair out all the time, and I feel like from fellow Black women, sometimes they'll say like, "Oh, like you should wear your natural hair, or this or that," but or even white women too. Like, you were saying, like in middle school, people would be like, "Why don't you ever wear your hair out?" But it's crazy because it's those same people or that same society that put you down in the first place. So it's like you can never win. It doesn't really matter if you're wearing a wig or braids or this. It's like there's always going to be a why. You can never just be. So it's like I'm doing what you want and you still don't like me, and then I'm doing what you want me to do, which is to love myself, and you're still like giving me microaggressions and side eyes and wanting to touch my hair and X, Y, and Z. So it's just like,
Yeah. And honestly, our hair is beautiful. And I was thinking about two big TV moms of two really big Black shows. One is Everybody Hates Chris, Rochelle. That woman, she had a lot more like straight hairstyles, and she would want to go to the salon all the time. And like that hair was mentioned a lot for her character. And so that's interesting to contrast her. Not that I'm trying to compare anything, but it's interesting to contrast her with Raven's mom in That's So Raven. That woman wore her locks, right? I think she had locks, and she would just have all the different hairstyles, and it was amazing. I remember loving Raven's mom because her hair was just so different in every episode, and it was just so cool. It was really cool. But I wanted to add that tidbit, but I also wanted to ask you guys, what are some of your favorite hairstyles? What do you love about your hair? And all of that.
yeah. I do love a good box braid, even though it's not the best for your hair. I love to do like a ponytail with box braids and like doing a little edge. With my natural hair, I love a blow dry, then putting it up in a bun and putting oil in it. Like it makes it feel healthy. And then recently I had my hair in cornrows, and then I took them out, and it looked really cute. It was like kind of a braid out. So I'm gonna have to experiment with that more.
I love having my natural fro out. I love twists, mini twists, and we definitely have to do a full episode on hair. Like this is just too fun, and there's so much more we could get into. Okay. So I won't say everything, but I'm definitely continually experimenting, and wait until I come out with my twist out and braid outs. Just wait until I perfect that. Y'all ain't ready, and once my edges go back,
be prepared. Y'all gonna be sick of us.
No, literally.
Once these edges. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally can't. Okay, yeah. For me, I'm loving mini twists. That's what I have on right now, and I was like, "Ooh, I kind of like this." And to be honest, I am still a box braid girl. I dream about it constantly. I really do.
Really?
I really do.
You want them back?
Yeah, I want to do box braids. Maybe this summer I'll do that. But it's just always been my go-to. It's the style of attached to me. Like when someone thinks of me, like when I think of me, I just think of box braids. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
But anyways, and then let's kind of moving over to skin. Tell me about when you were like, wait a second, I don't want to think this way about my skin anymore, and how you've kind of learned to love your skin tone.
You first. Just kidding. I heard this really good quote, and I think I've been hearing it all my life. It's just like turn your stubbornness or like the parts about you that are really passionate into good things, especially being stubborn, because it's not always seen as the best trait. But I think that I just got tired of it. I was like, screw you guys, I look good. Like, and like putting that stubborn energy back into myself instead of at other people, which I'm not gonna say that I did or didn't do. Anyway, yeah, I think that I had like I became aware of my my blackness in middle school. But and it wasn't easy at first. It wasn't pretty at first. Like my first phase was I feel different. I feel ugly. Like, why are people judging me? X, Y, and Z. So I guess that's where it started. That was the question, right? Yeah.
I don't know if I have a great answer to your question, but I will say that I was not super race conscious growing up. I totally thought I was one of the white kids. Like, it just didn't cross my
when mom
mind.
would compare our skin tones,
It just didn't, like, hit me deep enough. It wasn't enough to ruffle my feathers, I guess. I definitely was more focused on my personality, my attitude than my skin color. I remember it wasn't actually until college that my bubble was popped, which is so funny because
It's like she came to the blackest state in the US too. So it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And so I remember I went to the Black Student Union for the first time, and they were something had happened on campus, I think, and they were talking about their experiences with racism, and I was like,
Gulp.
I was like, if anybody were to ask me to name or list racist encounters that I'd had, racist experiences that I'd had with other people, I wouldn't be able to tell you. And that was, I remember that so distinctly, and I will forever remember that because I remember being like, whoa, I'm black, but I'm not like them. I'm not one of them. I didn't grow up like them. Like, I grew up being told, oh, you talk white, you act white, you're not like the other black girls. And I definitely was a token. But I definitely do also remember thinking, I know I have really dark skin because people would always allude to that, even though they might not have said it outright. But I was a little bit self-conscious about that for just a little bit in my life, just feeling like yeah, I knew I was black and whatnot, but to feel like I had really dark skin made me feel not beautiful. But I did get over that. But I'm at a point in my life now where I'm black, blackity black, 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 and I love it. And I couldn't imagine my life any other way. And I'm just so grateful for my melanin and just who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've never really hated my skin, but I was always afraid of the consequence of being black, if that makes sense. Like, I remember one time in high school, this one kid made such a threatening look at me, and it was so scary. I was like, just for being black, he literally scared the crap out of me, and I thought he was gonna do something to me. But
Like,
also,
he saw you and he acted scared.
no, he made a comment and then like gave me the death glare, and it was a
Oh.
racist comment, and it was just like, oh, this kid is about to like kill me after class or something, and that's a harsh thing to, but it was a direct look. But yeah, I feel like we grew up in a lot of white spaces growing up in neighborhoods and schools. And so for me, I've just avoided the topic of skin color and racism overall. And I avoided it even in college when I had more racist experiences or like microaggressions and stuff, because I just didn't know how to talk about that stuff. It made me so uncomfortable and it brought up really scary feelings inside of me, so that it was easier for me to avoid than to tackle the topic of racism. Not because I didn't want to, but because it was just heavy. It was just way too heavy. And it wasn't until my master's program where I felt a lot safer being able to explore all of that stuff, and to realize like, wow, I survived through my undergrad. Like, I would go to class in college and rush out and not talk to anybody because I one was dealing with social anxiety, but also felt so rejected from my skin tone, and nobody wanted to like talk to me and all of that. And so it wasn't until my master's program that I was like, oh, I can be friends with my classmates and they actually care about me and they actually are working on being anti-racist and working on their biases. I mean, we were all being trained to be therapists, so it was a natural part of the work, but it felt a lot safer than like my undergrad. And just being here, like the color brown gives me so much warmth. It makes me feel grounded. And so when I look at my skin tone, I'm like, God bless. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm God's favorite. Or
Yeah.
us black people are God's favorite because our skin is just way too beautiful. Not to diss any other skin color, but like,
Yeah.
dang, I could not imagine being black or brown. Like, it's just,
That's funny.
I feel beautiful.
I really relate to what you said about like you didn't hate the color of your skin, but you were just upset or you hated the consequences of it. And I relate to that so much. I don't think I've ever been like, oh, I want to be white or like I hate my skin. No shade to anyone who has thought those things, because everyone's experience is different.
And it's understandable.
Yeah, it is. But I just always hated how I was treated. But I always clocked like the microaggressions and the racism, I think, early on. So like,
Your generation's different.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think there's generational differences as well, where like, um, you know, people just talk about that a little more as I was growing up compared to them. And so I definitely made, maybe it wasn't con conscious. Maybe it wasn't super conscious. Conscious. I don't speak English, sorry. But I made a point to really, make friends with people like me, not because I was excluding anyone, but because I know it'd make me feel seen and heard and all of those things. But yeah, and I'm like, I've low-key been thinking the past month, like, if I could, choose life all over again, would I want to be Black? And I just think, like,
100%.
yes, like, oh my gosh, yes, over and over again, I would love to be Black. So yeah.
I guess I do have advice. So, I guess like some advice we could give about like learning to love your skin tone is being aware of the messages that are being sent around, right? Like in the beauty industry, they're trying to create a product to fix everything, even if things aren't a problem, right? Like they have all of these like vitamin C serums to fix hyperpigmentation or to fix like dark spots or dark circles or like pimple scars or whatever, which I think is great. I'm not like against those things, but if you become too dependent on that, then like if you do wake up one day because you were tired and you didn't get good night's sleep, you are going to have darker circles. And I wish we could just embrace some of the natural things that our skin goes through instead of trying to force our skin to look perfect all the time. And I mean, like darker skin tone women, like, when we have darker spots, it's a lot more noticeable than on a white person. And so that can make us feel super self-conscious. But I hope that like, and even like strawberry legs, if you know what I mean, like for Black women that shows up a lot more than it does for white women. And so just
Don't fall for the capitalism.
yeah, like if you want to try a couple different things, please do, but also embrace every once in a while, like, having different two-tone lips or whatever the case is, and allow it to be that. Allow your face to have different shades. I think different shades on one face or on one body is beautiful too.
Okay, so there's the beauty influencer. I think her name is pronounced Gloria, but she rates and
Test out.
Yes.
that's not the word though. She
Tries.
She tries on different skincare products for dark skinned women, and I'm just so glad that she is on social media and that
And
she is
she's
big.
South Sudanese.
Period, because she is doing the work for us.
Represent.
Everything that she says is tea. Everything that she says is accurate and right. And if you are a makeup company, you need to be making makeup for dark skinned women. Point blank. There's no
undertones,
yes.
shades.
Yeah.
We are not just the color black.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Anywho, like we have different undertones from each other.
Yeah.
Anywho, she recently made a post and her caption was redefine beauty and live with it, something like that. And when you read a quote and it hits you differently, even though it's literally the most simple thing, but I just was like, she's so right. Like, I'm so proud of herself. I'm so proud of her for putting herself out there as a dark skinned woman and owning it. She has redefined beauty. Beauty is dark skin. Beauty is light brown skin. Beauty is white skin. Whatever your definition of beauty is, be honest with yourself. Be real with yourself. Learn to love yourself. And I know that is so much easier said than done, but do the work to embrace who you are, to love your skin, the skin that you're in, and be kind to yourself and redefine beauty and put that out there into the world, and it'll catch on.
Yeah. I also love how because I think people like will make super just colorist and racist comments about like, oh, but like you're too dark, or like she didn't let things slip. You know what I'm saying? Or like there was this one brand, I think it was Youthforia or something like that. They made like the
Tar black.
no, truly, and
That's
then
crazy.
people were like, well, like
Making
shouldn't that
excuses.
work? Yeah, just making so many excuses, and she did not let it slide. I think that would be my advice. Like maybe you're not in the most safe place to like be super vocal about it, but I just think in your mind, like don't with yourself, don't allow yourself to be gaslit or to push away certain emotions because everyone else is doing that to you. Like, make it known within yourself and in your heart, like, no, this is wrong, and I'm beautiful, and I'm this, and I'm that. And also on top of that, like, don't suppress the bad emotions, because then you will have to kind of deal with them later in life, and then they'll hit you like a flood. Whereas if you take things as they come, like, you'll be able to process it a lot better rather than it just like coming all at once. So
Yeah.
that would be my advice, I guess.
All right, then moving on to the segment of self-love. Just because you grow up around so many different messages, whether it's about beauty or this and that, but there's also messages about how you should be and how you should act and behave and what people like and what people don't like in characteristics and traits. And so, like, I just want to know, what is something you guys kind of struggled loving about yourself personality-wise, and that maybe now you embrace a lot more?
If I was like, I've never hated myself.
Like a part or like someday, not all of you.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Believe it or
The
not,
Aries queens.
and okay, believe it or not, I think that growing up, I was such an extrovert and so loud and obnoxious. And I think that sometimes I was self conscious about that. And sometimes I felt like I was being too much, or that in certain spaces I was too much. And I've doled out a lot. I'm not as crazy and obnoxious, but that has definitely turned into a mature passion, fiery passion. Like, I'm still a very passionate and emotional person, but no, I actually am loud and obnoxious still.
Yeah, I would say so.
I feel like that's a crazy way of describing yourself. Like, I feel like like loud and obnoxious sounds so bad. I feel like I just would describe you as extroverted and fun and like passionate, but I've never thought of you as like annoyingly loud and whatever, obnoxious, you know?
Well, yeah, and you asked, I mean, what part of our personalities did we not like? And I did see
Yes.
myself as obnoxious in
Right. For
certain,
you. You're right. For yourself. You saw that.
yeah, in certain situations.
And you know what? You know what? I have, and this is something I still haven't like fully processed for myself, but I have this crazy experience where I remember being like wishy-washy, like back and forth, not really knowing where I fit in terms of like extrovert or introvert. And like one year I would be introverted, the next year I was like extroverted. Especially like 7th grade, I was the life of the party. Okay, I was creating book clubs
Peak
left and
life,
right.
7th
Like,
grade.
I was having time of my life. But then I just hit 8th grade and I remember forcing myself to be quiet, forcing myself to be smaller, forcing myself to be less annoying and to be so picky about everything I said because I had such a fear of coming out as like sounding dumb or whatever. And that has lasted for a long time, to where I feel like I'm still working on getting my voice back. Like, it's crazy. And I do think being an introvert is more naturally authentic, but still, like, I went to the other extreme end. And so it sucks because, like, now I'm just like, oh, I have so much to say, but I don't know how to talk anymore. And, like, I struggle with this and that, and, like, struggling with confidence. And so, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But I'm a good person. I have good things to say. I'm smart and I'm wise, and I'm gonna find my voice.
Period.
And I am naturally loud, but that it's not really bothered me. It's because I'm deaf, so I can't hear myself. So I'm just loud.
Yeah.
I'm just loud.
That's funny. I was one thought that I had, I don't know, I think feel like this is so off topic, off
Yeah.
track, but I was just thinking about how I feel that way sometimes too, where I want to share something. Because, like I said, I'm a very passionate person and I am very opinionated. And I don't care what other people think. I don't value acceptance because I accept myself.
Shoot.
But there are certain spaces where I don't feel safe enough to say what's on my mind because my experiences come from me being a Black woman. And when I'm in white spaces, ain't no way I'm going to share those experiences because I'm going to be looked at as I'm different, or
No one's
I'm
gonna
really
relate.
unrelatable.
Or
I'm
everyone
being
just
crazy.
like they all give you the side eye.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, she makes everything about race.
Mhm.
Hello,
No,
duh. It's
Can
my
we
whole
get
experience.
Can we get rid of that comment, that phrase? Everything's about race.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Everything is about race, literally.
It is. It always has
Oh.
been, and guess who made it about race? Okay, moving on.
Race.
I feel like I've always been like I am in spaces to this day where I don't feel safe enough to say what I want to say because I'm a Black woman.
Mhm.
But for me, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna ruffle the feathers. I'm not gonna shake the room. I'm just going to insert myself in places where I feel like I can
Mhm.
share my experience and share my voice. And I'm gonna keep doing that until I get to the point where I do feel like I have a voice that's loud enough and big enough
Yeah.
to penetrate the hearts of those who I don't think could listen now.
Mhm. Nice.
Period.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have a hard time coming up with this because everything good about myself that I think is good, I'm like, yeah, period, that is good. And then everything that I've thought was bad is like, low-key, like, you're right, it is kind of bad. Like, I resonate with feeling obnoxious, but I literally was actually, like, I was actually obnoxious and annoying. So I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I guess, like,
Maturity, I guess, growth.
like, being too sensitive, even though I've never necessarily felt bad about that, and no one's ever, like, I mean, like, not, like, sensitive in the way of, like, I'm crying to people and, like, having a problem with everything, but in the sense of, like, journaling and, like, I have a lot of, like, I feel really big feelings, but I've never felt bad about it. I don't know what to tell you.
I think going back to
DK.
I think going back to the obnoxious thing, it's kind of like Nosa said, like from the outside, you are just a fun, free-spirited person.
Mhm.
But I get feeling obnoxious, girl.
No.
I get it.
I promise you, like, I would really, like, give myself the flowers, but I really was obnoxious, like, really.
Not even giving yourself the flowers. No, it's okay to not believe that. You don't have to think negatively about yourself. You weren't harming anyone. You weren't doing anything bad. You were literally just being a kid and having fun.
Better close it out.
Just, like, being obnoxious, but whatever. I was just a kid. I don't feel bad about it, but I was. But, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty great. So I don't have a lot of notes. No notes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm really proud of how far we've all come
Yeah.
in our journey of self-love and loving ourselves as Black women and all that entails, our hair, our skin color, and so much more that we didn't cover today. But I feel like we're all on the path to becoming even greater Black women than we are today. And I'm really excited to see what that will look like for us. And I pray that we continue to create a world where Black women do feel loved and don't feel like they have to give it to themselves before they can receive it from the world. Because I don't think that's the case for everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
But go Black woman.
Period. And
Go
if you're
Black
out
women.
there, Black women, you're single on Valentine's Day, just know that, I don't know, just know, you know? Just kidding. Sorry, I don't even know what to say. I just want to make a message out there to everyone, like, you're gonna be okay. And I feel like a lot of times Black women aren't, like, they feel like they aren't allowed to be taken care of. That's not the case, and you deserve someone to take care of you and to love you.
You're not too hard to love. You're not
Period.
crazy. You're not obnoxious. You're not too loud.
You deserve all the great
all the
things.
love.
You deserve all the self-love.
Yes.
So I hope you don't feel alone. I don't know,
Yeah.
type something in your comments if you resonated in our comments. If you resonated with something.
Yeah. And you know what? My new favorite trend, at least in the book world, reading world, is like, Black authors writing about Black women being loved on deeply. And I'm here for it. So we need more of that on TV, on podcasts. We need that everywhere, please.
Period. It's possible.
It is possible.
The world needs to learn how to love and cherish Black women.
They sure do.
More than ever.
Yes.
But thank you so much for tuning into our episode. It honestly means so much to us. If you guys have any comments or questions for us, please leave it in the comments below. Let us know if there's anything in particular that you want us to talk more in depth about. Like, we're happy to hear you out and have an episode about it. But thanks so much, guys. Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day!